It is time for the KBOI Medical Moment, brought to you by Regence Blue Shield of Idaho, featuring Dr. Kenny Bramwell, the Executive Medical Director for Regence. Dr. Bramwell, good morning.
Morning, Chris. Paul J., hello.
Morning, Doc. On these hot summer days, supposed to hit triple digits in Boise again today, when we're thirsty and feel we need a little pick-me-up, a lot of us routinely reach out for a nice cold can of pop, often a diet version to limit our calorie intake. There's a new recommendation that we try harder to ditch the chilled can or bottle in favor of plain old water. What's behind this advice?
Well, the source here is pretty hard to argue with. It's actually the American Heart Association. The association spent 2 years looking at this specific question, and they went through dozens of studies looking at the health effects of diet drinks and felt that they needed to issue an advisory to us.
Did the heart doctors find anything that's really alarming?
No, I wouldn't say alarming, but the researchers did conclude that I think I would summarize it by saying we all need a nudge away from sodas. They basically stated that based on the available evidence and science at this time, we should all try hard to replace sugary drinks and diet drinks with plain, carbonated, or unsweetened flavored water. The good news for those of us who really like our occasional cold can of Diet Cola, I have one on my desk right now. So I'm totally guilty of this. There's no need to go cold turkey. Just consciously try a little harder to increase our water consumption and decrease our intake of sodas.
Speaking of little, there's now agreement that when it comes to exercise, we no longer need to beat ourselves up as if our schedules don't allow us to spend an hour in the gym every day. Even little bursts of activity deliver real benefits. What are the details of this study?
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. There was a study in 2016 of otherwise sedentary men found that in this study, 1-minute bursts of intense exercise with a 10-minute routine could both lower their blood sugar levels and improve their cardiometabolic health just as well as if they had done a 50-minute workout.
So then just a few minutes of exercise a day and we are good to go?
Well, we got to bear in mind, Chris, that these were, I think, intense minutes for 10 minutes with some rest periods. Those are that's a little different than just a few minutes, but I think the key takeaway is that something is always better than nothing. Even short bursts of activity with simple things like walking the dog or taking the stairs whenever we can all have real benefits. Bigger benefits come from a mix of short and longer duration physical activities most days of the week.
So walk the dog out, carry him back.
Yeah, there you go.
Taking a 5-minute walk while glued to our smartphones is officially a bad idea. How so?
Yeah, researchers in British Columbia performed a video analysis of hundreds of pedestrians at a busy intersection. To nobody's great surprise, the pedestrians who were holding their phones intently and staring at the screens took smaller steps and walked in a more erratic fashion when crossing the street. You can actually see videos, not of this study, but of people kind of crashing and burning while they walk with their smartphones. The idea of taking smaller and more erratic steps kept people in the street longer and exposed them to more potential conflicts with cars. Researchers also noted that texting obviously limits what can be seen on the ground in front of us, which can impair balance and lead to falls. The possibility of sprains and bumps and bruises or worse make living in the moment much better option than gluing ourselves to our smartphones while walking.
Yeah, good advice. Doctor.
Right, plus you could go off a cliff.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too. Dr. Bramwell, thanks for your time this morning on KBOI. As always, we appreciate it.
Morning, gentlemen.
Thanks, Doc.
It's the KBOI Medical Moment, brought to you by Regence, featuring Dr. Kenny Bramwell of Regence Blue Shield of Idaho.